Good morning, students. So, in our last class, we have discussed about the loose connective tissues, that is the LR connective tissue, and also we have studied an adipose tissues. So, in LR tissues, we are having two type of cells are presenting. One is called as fibers, and second one are called as the cells. The fibers are produced, three type of fibers, that are the white fibers, yellow fibers, as well as the reticulate fibers, and five type of cells are one is the plasma cells, and second one is the macrophages, third one is mast cells, adipose tissues, and these are the cells where they are presenting in the macrophages, where these are present in the LR connective tissues, and we have studied the functions of the cells also, and there the fibers, and also the fibroblast cells. The fibroblast cells and plasma cells, third one is the mast cells and macrophages and plasma cells. These are the five type of cells where we have studied, and also the adipose tissues where they are stores the fat in the form of energy rich sources, and they act as an insulators. That means it prevents the losing of heat from the body. Next, coming to the second one, that is a dense connective tissue. The second one is a dense connective tissue. A dense connective tissue. So here in a dense connective tissue, here the arrangement is taken place or orientation of fibers, the orientation of fibroblast cells as well as the collagen fibers which are presenting. These are arranged in the form of rows-like structures. That means here majorly the dense connective tissue, it is classified, that is here based on the regular and irregular. These are classified into two types. One is dense regular tissues. First one is a dense regular tissues, and the second one is the dense and irregular tissues. So here dense regular tissues will consist of the orientation of, that means the arrangement of or orientation of the collagen fibers in the form of rows of parallel bundles. These are arranged in the rows of parallel rows. That is here how these are arranged means in a rows of parallel bundles. These are arrangement of the collagen fibers. That means the collagen fibers are arranged in the form of rows of parallel bundles. Bundles. In between these will consist of two type of cells are presenting. One we can call as the tendons, and second one we can call them as ligaments. In these, that means in rows of parallel, the collagen fibers in rows of parallel bundles will having two type of cells are presenting that are called as the tendons and the ligaments. So here what are the tendons means? The tendons means these are the cells which are arranged the muscle to the bone. If they are arranged from a muscle to bone, as if they are arrangement, that means the connective tissue or the connective tissues which connects the muscle to the bone, then such type are called as a tendons. What are the tendons means? If the connective tissue which connects the muscle to the bones, so they are called as the tendons. And if they are arranged from bone to bone, from one bone to another, from bone to a bone, if their arrangement is taken place, then we can call them as ligaments. So in these we'll having two type of these fibers. That means fibers are presenting, along with the fibers we'll having the fibroblast, that is the collagen fibers are also present in the form of a row of fibers, that is row of parallel bundles are presenting. In between parallel bundles will having the cells are presenting. The two type of cells are presenting. One is the tendons and ligaments. What are tendons? Means these are the type of connective tissues which connects from a muscle to the bones. If they are connected to from muscle to the bone, we can call them as tendons. And ligaments, if they connect from one bone to the another bone, if they are connecting, then we can call them as ligaments. And here in irregular, that means dense irregular will having in a dense irregular type, a dense irregular type will having the fibers are presenting. The fibers which are presenting, three type of fibers are presenting, that is yellow fibers, white fibers, as well as the reticulate fibers are presenting, where these are presenting below the surface of the skin. These are present below the skin. These are presenting, where these are consisting of an irregular, that is dense irregular tissues or connective tissues consist of fibers, where these are presenting below the skin. So these are the two type of fibers. One is the dense regular tissues and dense irregular tissues. Dense irregular tissues will consist of the fibers are presenting, where they are present beneath the skin, below the skin they are presenting. And in dense regular tissues will having the collagen fibers and also fibroblast cells are presenting. Here the collagen fibers are arranged in the form of a row of parallel bundles, where in this between the row of parallel bundles will consist of two type of cells. One is called as tendons and ligaments. Tendons means muscle to bone, which attachment, that means they are attached to the muscle to the bone, we can call as tendons. And ligaments, if their attachment is taken place from bone to the bone, we can call as ligaments. So these are the second type, that is a dense connective tissues. Next, coming to the third one, that is the specialized tissues. The specialized tissues. So here the specialized tissues. Here specialized means these are the tissues which are having a specific function will be taken place. They are specialized tissues means these are having a specific function will be playing a very important place, the important role in these tissues. So they are called as a specialized tissues. So in these specialized tissues will consist of one we can call as a cartilage, one we can call as a cartilage, a bone, and also here we can call as the blade. So here bone and cartilage, they gives a supporting framework. This cartilage and bone gives a supporting framework for the body, supporting framework for the body. That means they gives a supporting for the body, for the development of body. They gives a supporting, that is cartilage or bone. In this cartilage, that is replaced by it is replaced by a vertebral column, or a bone is replaced. So in embryonic state, is cartilage is presenting, that is replaced by and a bone it is replaced, or vertebral column it is presenting. So here a cartilage and bones are they gives a supporting a framework for the body. And the blade, here a blade is a fluid connective tissue. Why means it is a fluid or jelly like substance where it transport through different regions of the body. It connects the different regions of the body. So here the blade, here without blade your body cannot able to survive. Why means the blade will carry the various, performs various specific functions are performed by the blade as well as the cartilage and bone. So these are called as a specialized tissues which use a specific function for the body, so that they are called as the tissues which use a specific a function for the body, so they are called as the specialized tissues such as cartilage, a bone, as well as the blade. Now we will discuss the one by one, that is, first we go for cartilage, second we go for bone, and also the third one is the blade. Now coming to the first one, that is a cartilage. So here a cartilage, it is a cartilage, it is a semi-rigid, that is a tough and a layer which is presenting, that is a tough and a semi-rigid structure present in an organisms, is called as vertebrates. In this cartilage is replaced in adult vertebrates. In adult vertebrates, the cartilage is replaced by a vertebral column. And also here the cartilage which is presenting, the cartilage present in nostrils, in a nose, as well as ear pinna. It is present in nose, ear pinnas, and also here along the sides of vertebral column, and also present in tracheae, that is present in a trachea in the form of a C-shaped cartilage, and also in a larynx. Also here it is presenting. So here cartilage which is presenting, it is a semi-tough and a transparent layer which is presenting, we can call that as a cartilage. So here example of cartilage is the hyaline cartilage, where we will discussing. So here in this hyaline cartilage, it is a diagrammatic representation. It is a diagram of a hyaline cartilage, where here this hyaline cartilage will consist of a dense matrix is presenting, or a ground substance is presenting, where it is a transparent jelly-like a matrix is presenting. That is a transparent jelly-like, or a transparent jelly-like the ground substances, or otherwise you can call that as a matrix is presenting, where here in this matrix will consist of the matrix here it secreted, it consists of the cells which are presenting, that cells which are presenting in the form of, that means the matrix which secretes the cells in the form of a lacunae. They are presenting in the form of a lacunae that are secreted by the matrix. That means the lacunae are secreted by the matrix, or a ground substance which is present in a cartilage, that are called as and lacunae, where these lacunae, that means the ground substance which is presenting, you can call as matrix, or ground substances, where it is secreted by a substance called as the lacunae. In the lacunae will having the cells are presenting, that cells which are presenting, we can call them as the chondrocytes. That chondrocytes are secreted by the chondroblast cells. These are secreted by the chondroblast cells. That means the lacunae which are presenting, these lacunae will secrete the lacunae which are present, they secrete the chondroblast cells. The chondroblast cells, when they are becomes inactive in condition, that means the chondroblast cells which are presenting, they are becomes metabolically and inactive, metabolically inactive. Such type of cells we can call them as the chondriocytes. So here chondriocytes means these are, that means the lacunae will secrete the chondroblast cells. The chondroblast cells will produce the chondriocytes, where these are metabolically and inactive type of cells are presenting. And these are surrounded, that means the chondrocytes which are secreted, these are surrounded by the lacunae, these are presenting, and also here it consists of, that means these chondrocytes, the cartilage which is presenting, or the chondrocytes are presenting, the cartilage is the cartilage, that means the cartilage present in chondroblast cells that are avascular, they are the avascular, that means directly the blood supply will not be taken place, that is a direct blood supply will not be presenting, so that here what happens, these are secreted from the blood cells, that means through this the blood cell, that is that upper layer is called as a peritoneum. Peritoneum layer is presenting, that peritoneum layer is rich of vascular. Through this region it passes, the blood will supply will be taken place. So here direct blood supply will not be taken place, so that here a cartilage which is presenting, it is an avascularized tissue. And also here the chondrocytes, that means what are chondrocytes means, these are metabolically and inactive which are secreted by chondroblast cells which are presenting in the lacunae. So they are called as the chondrocytes. And also in this layer will having, this is a peritoneum. Here it is a peritoneum layer. This peritoneum layer will consist of the blood cells. It consists of the blood cells as well as the fibroblast cells are presenting. So here the peritoneum layer is a vascularized layer. It is the peritoneum is which is presenting, it is a vascularized layer where here having a rich amount of blood supply will be taken place. And also here will consisting of blood vessels, so due to the presence of blood vessels, here it is a vascularized layer. So from these layer it passes the blood, so here a direct blood supply will not be taken place, so that the cartilage is an avascularized layers. And also here will consist of the fibroblast cells. These fibroblast cells which are presenting, these fibroblast cells will secrete the fibers. The fibroblast cells will secrete the fibers, so that fibers are the yellow fiber, white fibers and yellow fibers, as well as the reticulate fibers are presenting, the reticulate fibers, that means three type of fibers are secreted by the fibroblast cells. But these fibroblast cells which are secreted the fibers, they are not visible in the cartilage. Why they are not visible in a cartilage means, here the cartilage, that matrix of the cartilage and the fibers of the cartilage having a same refractive indexes will be the same. So due to the presence of same refractive index, here they cannot able, that means here will having the same refractive index, the same refractive index of matrix and also the fibers. That means the fibers and the matrix will having the same refractive index will be the same. So due to the presence of a same refractive index, here the fibers cannot be visible in the cartilages. So here we will having a peritoneum, will having upper layer, the layer is called as peritoneum, where it is rich supply of blood vessels, so it is called as vascular layer, where it consists of fibroblast cells and the blood cells. Inside this will consist of lacunae, specialized cells are called as lacunae. Inside the lacunae will consist of the chondrocytes, that means the chondroblast cells are presenting. These chondroblast cells will secrete the chondrocytes, where they are metabolically and inactive in cells there. So the metabolically inactive cells which are presenting, we can call them as the chondrocytes. So this chondriocytes which is present in that cartilage, inside the cartilage, it is an avascularized tissue. I means here directly the blood supply will not be taken place due to the absence of direct blood supply. So here we can call them as an avascularized tissues. So this is where we can call as the hyaline cartilage. So here in this cartilage, that means here in embryonic stage, already we know that in some fishes also, in some fishes already we studied, that is chondriotis. Chondriotis means cartilaginous fishes are presenting. The cartilaginous fishes also will consist of the cartilage, where here it is acts as an endoskeleton of some vertebrates. It also presenting an endoskeleton of some vertebrates it is presenting, and also here the bone it is present in between the bones as well as the sternum, a nose, a larynx, and also the tracheus. These are presenting, and also their function is it use what is the function of the cartilage? It gives a flexibility and supporting for the an organisms. This gives a flexible support and reduce the frictionless the movements within the joints. So that is a main functions which is performed by the cartilages. That is a hyaline cartilage. Next, coming to the second one, that is a bone. Now coming to the bone. So here a bone is the hardest part present in the body of vertebrates. So here a cartilage, it is the hardest than the bone. Cartilage is the hardest than a bone, but bone is also a hardest part present in the vertebrates, the vertebrates body. So here it forms an exoskeleton. That means here the vertebral column is made up of a bone only in all vertebrates. Here the vertebral column is made up of a bone. Vertebral column is made up of a bone only. So here it is a bone is hardest part. Bone is the hardest part present in vertebrates. So here these vertebrates, that means the bone consists of both organic and inorganic substances are also presenting. But here in it is the bone is present in somewhat in all vertebrates. Here bone is a backbone. It gives the vertebral column of a bone is made up of the vertebral column is made up of a bone only. And here typical bone consists of different parts are presenting. Here a typical bone is consists of different parts. One is called as the peristomium. Peristomium. Second one is a matrix. Third one is endosteum. And the fourth one is the bone marrow. A marrow, or otherwise you can call as medullary rays, or we can call them as the medullary rays. So these are the various parts which are presenting in the medullary rays. No, sorry, here not medullary rays, here medullary canals, or medullary canal, or we can call as a bone and marrow. So here we'll having the peristomium. Will consist of the peristomium, the matrix, the endosteum, and the bone marrow or the medullary canal. So here peristomium, what is a peristomium means it is an outermost covering of the bone. It is an outermost covering of the bone. That outermost covering of the bone we can call as the peristomium, which is a delicate a fibrous sheath. It is a delicate fibrous sheath which is covered by the bone. So here we can call that as the peristomium. So this peristomium is mainly it gives the nourishment for the bone and also helpful for the growth and development, and also here it gives the nourishment for the bone, and also here it gives it helpful for the growth and development of the bone that is taken place by the peristomium. It provides the nourishment and also helpful in a growth and a repairing of bones. So here it gives nourishment for bones and also the growth and a repair, and also helpful for the growth and repair. So such part we can call as the peristomium, which is an outermost fibrous sheath which is surrounded by the bone. We can call as a peristomium. Here it provides the nourishment for the bone and also it helpful for the growth and repairing of the bone also. Next, the matrix. Here it consists of a dense matrix is presenting where this matrix is made up of mainly this matrix is consist of an inorganic components are presenting, that is mainly the calcium phosphate it is presenting. Here it consists of the calcium phosphates. Here mainly it consists of the calcium phosphates are presenting, that is a main part which is presenting. It is a substance of the bone forming. It is a substance of the bone which is forming. It is a substance of the bone which is forming the matrix. So here main component of the bone is the matrix, where here it consists of the bulk of that means here the bulk, it is the main part which is consisting the bulk of the main, beside the, that means after the peristomium it is consist of the matrix it is presenting, and also here it consists of cells are presenting, the specialized cells are presenting, they are called as oscines. Oscine means the bone cells which are presenting, we can call them as the oscines, where here it consists of an inorganic component is presenting, that inorganic component mainly consisting of the calcium phosphates are presented. Mainly the calcium proteins presenting, that is mainly phosphate, calcium phosphate. So here this matrix is made up of a protein, mainly it is bulk, it is the main part of the bulk of the bone, and also it is made up of a protein, that protein is called as oscine. Next, coming to the third region, the endosteum. It lies the matrix internally and consisting of a white fibrous tissues. Here it is that means endosteum is presenting internally. It is presenting and internally and forms the white fibrous tissues. White fibers are produced. So that is here it consists of white fibrous tissues. It consists of white fibrous tissues, and also here it helpful for the bone forming cells are formed. Bone forming cells are presenting. Bone forming cells are presenting. They are called as the osteocytes. They may also call them as the osteocytes. We can call them as an osteocytes. That is here the internally, that means beneath the matrix it consists of an endosteum. Here internally it is presenting and it consists of a white fibrous tissues are presenting. Along with fibrous, white fibrous tissues, here it consists of a bone forming cells are presenting. That bone forming cells we can call them as then osteocytes. So these are the two, that is endosteum, these are the presence of these are the, that means these bone forming cells which produce the bone cells are forming in the form of an osteocytes. Next, coming to the last one, that is we can call as the medullary canal, or otherwise here we can call as a bone marrow. So here it is a central part. It is the central part of the a bone where it is filled with filled with a soft tissue called as a bone marrow. It is filled with a soft tissue, with a soft tissue called as the bone marrow. So here bone marrows are of two types. One is the yellow bone marrow, and the second one is the red bone marrow. So here red and yellow bone marrows are presenting, but here most of the organisms will having the most of the part, half of the part will having a red bone marrow is presenting. When going age is increases, here the red bone marrows are converted into an yellow bone marrow, where in yellow bone marrows are helpful, and yellow bone marrows are helpful for the storaging of the fat. The yellow bone marrows, the yellow marrow is helpful for the storage of fat, and also the red bone marrow is helpful for synthesizing of red blood corpuscles are synthesizes. But here when going into the when in the adult age, here these are having a red bone marrows are presenting. When age is increasing, it will becomes into an yellow bone marrow, where it helpful for the storaging of the fat. But here most of the red and bone marrow which are present in adult, here most of the part, half of the part will consist of the red bone marrows are presenting. And also here in these regions, that means here it consists of an apophysis. So apophysis means the elongated region which is presenting, that is called as an apophysis. That means middle part portion of the, that means here in the bone marrow, the middle part which is presenting, that middle part of the bone we can call as the diaphysis. We can call that as the diaphysis. So what is diaphysis means? The middle portion of the bone, a middle portion of a bone, the middle portion of the bone is called as a diaphysis. Here will consist of two regions. One is epiphysis as well as the metaphysis. So here what is an epiphysis means? Here epiphysis is so here you will consider means diaphysis, the middle portion of the bone is called as diaphysis, and the metaphysis, the elongated part, that means the end parts which are presenting, the end part of the bone which are presenting, we can call as the end part. The end part of bone is called as a metaphysis. That means the end part of the bone, the expanded, that is end part, the expanded portion of the bone, ends of the bone. Here, it is the expanded portion of the end parts of the bone, end parts of the bone we can call as the metaphysis. That means these regions we can call as the metaphysis, and above this will having further capped into an epiphysis. So here above this, that means the above it, that means expanded cap-like structure which is presenting above that will having an epiphysis is presenting capped like the expanded expanded part which is presenting we can call as an epiphysis, and the ended, that means the expanded portion of end parts of the bone is called as the metaphysis. So in between the epiphysis and metaphysis, here it consists of an epiphyseal plates are presenting. That means in between epiphysis and metaphysis, here will consist of an epiphyseal plates are presenting. Epiphyseal plates are presenting. That epiphyseal, what is the main function of epiphyseal means these are helpful for the growth and development of the bone. These are helpful for the elongation of the bone. These are helpful for the elongation epiphyseal plate. These are helpful for elongation of. These are helpful for the elongation of a bone, that is due to the epiphyseal plates. That is, these epiphyseal plates are presenting in between epiphyseal and also the metaphysis. The middle part of the bone is called as diaphysis, and end parts, the expanded portion of end parts are called as metaphysis, and above that will having a capped portion of part is presenting that called as an epiphysis. So in between epiphysis and metaphysis will having an epiphyseal plates are presenting. These epiphyseal plates which are presenting, these are helpful for the an elongation of the bone. These are presenting. So this is a typical the structure of the bone. Now coming, that is we can call this as that is a typical structure of the bone. Now we will go for an histology of the bone. Now coming to the histology of the bone. Now coming to the histology of the bone, or we can call as an Harvesian system. So here Harvesian system, or otherwise we can call as osteon. We can call them as the osteon, or we can call that as a Harvesian system. Harvesian system. We can call that as the Harvesian system. So here the Harvesian system, it is a structural and a functional units of the bone. Here osteons are the osteon, or otherwise you can call that as an Harvesian system. It is the functional, it is an structural and a functional units of the, it is the structural and a functional units of it is a structural and a functional unit of a bone we can call as an osteon, or otherwise we can call as the Harvesian system. So in this Harvesian system will consist of a centrally placed will consist of a Harvesian canal is presenting. In the center will having an central way having an that means in Harvesian system there are millions of osteons are present in the bone. That means millions of Harvesian systems or osteons are presenting. If you see in the transverse section of one Harvesian system, if you see a transverse section of one Harvesian system will having in the central in the center of the Harvesian system will having an Harvesian canal is presenting. In this Harvesian canal, here it consists of a blood vessels as well as the nerves are presenting. So that here when compared to the cartilage, here bone is having bone is a vascularized tissue. Why means here a direct supply of blood supply will be taken place, but in cartilage here it is not having a direct blood supply will not be taken place. So here we can call that as here will not get taken place. In cartilage we can say as a avascular tissue, but in bone we can say as a vascularized tissue, as means a direct blood supply will be taken place. That means, why means here due to the presence of blood vessels in the Harvesian canal, here a direct blood supply will be taken place. So we can call that as an vascularized tissues. And here in this Harvesian canal, here it consists of a concentrical layers are presenting. That concentrical layers which are presenting, we can call them as a lamellae. That means what are lamellae means? Around the Harvesian canal. Around the Harvesian canal, a concentric layers are presenting. That concentric layers which are presenting, that means in the form of circles. Here a concentric layers are presenting. That concentric layers which are presenting in around the Harvesian canal, we can call them as a lamellae. So here in the lamellae, inside the lamellae will consist of a dense matrix is presenting. Here it consists of a matrix is presenting. In this matrix will consist of collagen fibers, and also here it consists of an inorganic component that is you can call as a calcium phosphate is presenting in the matrix of the bone. Inside the lamellae will having a matrix, a dense matrix is presenting. In this matrix will consist of a collagen fibers. Will consist of a collagen fibers, and also an inorganic components are presenting. That inorganic components we can call as the calcium phosphate. So here will consist of the collagen fibers. It consists of the collagen fibers and the calcium phosphate. It consists of a calcium phosphate is presenting. So around this we will having a lamellae. So inside the lamellae we will having a space filled sacs are presenting. That space filled sacs we can call as a lacunae. We can call as a lacunas. That means the space filled cells which are present. That means inside the lamellae, that means concentric rings which are present in there called as lamellae. Inside the lamellae will having a space filled cells are presenting. That space filled cells are called as lacunae. Inside the lacunae will consist of the osteocytes. Here it consists of lacunae will having an osteocytes are presenting. So already we know that here in the matrix, it is matrix also here containing a protein called as osine. Here it consists of a protein called as an osine. So along with the osine protein, which is the matrix is made up of a protein called as osine, along with collagen fibers and a calcium phosphate, and along the concentric rings of lamellae will having and space filled cells are presenting. That space filled cells are called as the lacunae. Inside the lacunae will consist of an osteocytes. It consists of an osteocytes are presenting. And here coming to this osteocytes, that means inside this around the constituent here what is the layers are presenting. Here that means a concentric rings which are presenting the lacunae. Then lacunae will having an osteocytes. So here one concentric ring to the another concentric lamellae. That means one lamellae to the another lamellae. Here it is interconnected with a fine hair, fine like structures. That hair, a fine like structures we can call them as a canalicules. So here what are canalicule means? The concentric layers, the concentric rings which are presenting in the lamellae, they are interconnected with a fine hair-like structures. So that a fine hair-like, this is a hair-like structures which are connected around the concentric ring, which are connected with one concentric ring is connected with adjacent concentric ring with an hair-like structures. So they are called as canalicules. And also here canalicules, along with the canalicules, here it is consisting, that means one Harvesian, there are already said there are millions of Harvesian systems are presenting, or osteons or otherwise we can call as osteons are presenting. So here one Harvesian system is connected to the another adjacent Harvesian system. That is, one Harvesian system is connected to an adjacent another Harvesian system. Here it is connected with an layer, that is canals. That means through the canals, one Harvesian system is connected to the another Harvesian system through a canal called as the Volkmann's canals. The Volkmann's canals. So what are Volkmann's canals means? One adjacent, that means one Harvesian system. One Harvesian system is connected with the another adjacent Harvesian system. So that is connect. That means one Harvesian system is connected to the another Harvesian system. So through the canals, that canals are called as the Volkmann's canals. So through these Volkmann canals, that is connected one Harvesian to the system to the another Harvesian system. But within the one Harvesian system only, here the adjacent lamellae are connected with a hair-like structures. That hair-like structures we can call them as canalicules. And also here Harvesian canal, which is consist of blood vessels, here which consist of blood vessels as well as nerves are presenting. So here will having a direct blood supply will be taken place. So that here a bone is called as a vascularized tissue. Why you can call it as vascularized means here bone consists of a direct blood supply will be taken place. So due to the direct blood supply, here bone we can call as a vascularized tissues. But cartilage is not and direct, that is cartilage is not a direct tissue, that is and it is avascularized. That means direct blood supply will not be taken place. First it should be taken place by a I said in a cartilage, I said the topmost layer, the layer which is surrounded by the cartilage we can call as a peristomium, but it is not a peristomium, it is a perichondrium. It is a perichondrium. That is, the perichondrium is a vascularized tissue. From the perichondrium, the blood passes to the cartilage. So here cartilage is an avascularized tissues. So this is where that is a structure of the bone. So in the bone, here the main structure is a Harvesian system, or otherwise you can call it as an osteons. So osteons are the structural and functional units of the a bone are called as an osteon, and in the matrix will consist of protein called as an osine. Their protein is consisting, we can call it as composed of a protein called as osine. This osine consists of collagen fibers and calcium phosphates are presented. And also here one Harvesian system is connected with another Harvesian system. It is very important. Don't confuse. Here adjacent lamina is connected with the hair, a fine hair-like structures are called as canalicules. That means within the Harvesian system, if the concentric rings are connected, one concentric ring is connected with adjacent concentric ring with the hair-like structures are called as canalicules. But here one Harvesian system is connected with another Harvesian system. That means one Harvesian system is connected with an adjacent another Harvesian system that is connected with a canals. That canals are called as the Volkmann's canals. So this is a difference between a canalicules and a Volkmann canals. Canalicules are connected with the one adjacent to the one considering to the another. But Volkmann canals here that are carried, that is taken place by one Harvesian system. Here there are millions of Harvesian systems are presenting. So one Harvesian system is connected with an adjacent another Harvesian system or Austrian. It is connected with an canals called as a Volkmann's canals only. So this is about the structure of a typical structure of a bone. So that is we'll discussing that is about the structure of a bone, that is histology of the bone, that is we have studied in this class. We have studied about a dense connective tissues such as tendons and ligaments. Tendons are these are the connected with muscle to bone. If they are connected, the connective tissues which connect from muscle to bone are called as tendons, and if they connected from a bone to bone, one bone to another bone, if they are connected, we can call them as the osteo, that is we can call them as that is the ligaments. So this is that means later we have discussed about the typical structure of a bone, that is cartilage, that is a hyaline cartilage. Specialized tissues are hyaline cartilage. Cartilage examples are cartilage, that is example of cartilage is hyaline cartilage, and second one is a bone, and the last one is that is a blood, where we can call that as a fluid connective tissues. So that will be discussed, that is the blood, that will be discussed in the next classes.